What is the difference between time and eternity? I know where this question comes from. When we're sealed in the temple, we're sealed for time and all eternity. So if they use the words time and eternity, obviously they're different, and they are. And it's important to understand the difference between them, because in doing so, we're really going to be able to understand the scriptures better. The prophet Joseph Smith used a ring to symbolize eternity. The ring has no beginning and no end. That's eternity. Do we have a concept for that? No, because we live in a linear time space, in a mortal realm. Time in the scriptures is synonymous with mortality. Mortality is that for which there's a beginning and an end. There's a beginning of our life and an end of our life. And that is what the Lord speaks of as placing bounds upon someone's habitation, or having a season or a time assigned to us for our life. A great way to understand the difference, the synonymity of time and immortality, is this really interesting scripture in Doctrine and Covenants 88 verse 110. This is a revelation given to Joseph Smith. There shall be time no longer. He's going to end time right there. And Satan shall be bound, that old serpent who is called the devil, and shall not be loosed for the space of 1,000 years. Wait a minute. How are you supposed to count out 1,000 years if time was suddenly stopped? Well, that doesn't make any sense at all. So obviously the word time here can't mean the progression of events or a sequence of events that's running from one after the other. The word time here means mortality, as it does in other places in the scriptures. Mortality meaning death. So with the second coming, there comes a beginning of the end of death. No longer do we die, but those who die in the millennium will be twinkled, right? They'll be changed in the twinkling of an eye from mortal to immortal, from a bound to an unbound state. And that's really for us much like the idea of coming off a piece of paper. On a chart here, we're stuck on a line. We're bounded in our habitation. But when we are resurrected, we become immortal. We simply come off the page. At that point, it doesn't matter whether we began life whether we had a creation point and a death point. Once we come off the page, we're unbound. Okay, and we live in eternal existence again. And so this is a common misconception in many Christians. They argue that man is a created being and God is an eternal being, and they try to make distinctions between those. But the fact is, you can go from an eternal existence to a bounded existence and back again by leaving the presence of God and returning back to his presence after resurrection. So that's a little bit about time and eternity. Eternity we really don't understand well in this life. I wish I could explain it to you better, but I really don't understand it. Time, though, we know, and this is our time to prepare to meet God. So with that answer, you can hopefully understand a little bit more about the sealing for time and eternity. It means for life and the life after.